elements you could argue with movement, for example, that do help you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, movement is a big thing about it. It's why a part of what I clung to in this game is that movement is really solid, and just being able to kind of position yourself to absolutely kind of punish your players or the enemy team, kind of positioning yourself right. So it's a really complex thing, but there are a lot of similarities that I do see from Quake in the finals, and part of the reason that I love it. But
Yeah.
moving on, we are getting started. Thank you guys for being patient with us. We are getting started here on the first match of Scallywags versus 223 on Cis Horizon.
Yeah, exactly. And we can see here again, both teams are pretty much set up for the correct idea of trying to keep the high ground here, but the range advantage right now for the players, and I think the Scallywags there, as they are trying, for the players on 223, as they have opted to go for longer range weapons this time instead of the model.
Yeah, and it makes sense in this kind of fight because you have a lot of the rooftop combat. You have what's happening right now, where I think it's a little frivolous, where people are just kind of fighting and trying to get any opening they can, but honestly, if you have one healing beam, any damage that is done to you is pretty much easily mitigated. So right now, it's just kind of both teams feeling each other up, trying to find where their weak points is, and on the off chance that they do get a kill, that's a great entry point. We do see No X starting to hop down, getting some great shots off with that AK, but not enough to really cause enough damage. His team is starting to push in, and they are... Oh, look at that D-Mat down below. I'm not sure anybody's gone down just yet. Dome Shield is up, Wally is down, and Noah is trying to heal his teammates, switching back and forth between that AK in a great fashion, really kind of choosing his fights well. But it does look like they were able to get the first team wipe of this match.
Yeah, and if production as well, if we could do a listen in at some point during this match, I would love to hear 223 because they have the most insane comms. I know obviously it is in French. We might have to get a French translator in the chat to kind of give us the overalls here, but this team are playing with fire behind them, and they are going to be looking to expose that. You can see Telco here does have the model in his hand, so it's only Noah here who does have the rifle. I'm pretty sure it's the AK as well, so he is going to be the damage dealer from range.
Yeah, and real quick, I just want to point out that pink team is the Scallywags and orange team is 223. So if you have a favorite, keep watching for those team colors. But right now, it does look like the 223 is set up in a great position for Dash Out B. Dash Out B is starting to make its way down. It is about a quarter of the way done. We see the Samco box is jumping up and down with that RPG in hand. He goes for a shot. He does not make it, does not connect on anything. Scallywags are pushing in below. I believe they're going to try and drop this cash out and try and make a move on it. They have to do something pretty quick, or this is going to be their only push that they're able to make for this cash out.
Yeah, and 223 here have the advantage of the high ground. They do know where the options are going to happen with the dematerializer being moved lower as well from Wallio, as you can see here. But the question is on 223 is can they hold it here? Dropping from high ground here. It's a Telka who goes in and already down to low HP. Sam goes down as well. That's not a part of the script. It's Salva here who is being effective and managing to take out the first two players here. And it's down to only, I think, one player now left alone. What can he do here against the 1v3? Nothing potentially. And the cash out has been stolen back. Players coin back in or are healed back in, and it's a Telco back up.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they were able to coin back in because we get right into this fight again immediately, and it does mean that the Scallywags have one more chance of pushing in. The cash out is down to the last quarter of it, and they need to make a move right now, but the Scallywags are in a pretty good position. They have the height advantage, they have the cash out, and they just need to burn this clock out.
Exactly, and I think here the winch claw going in. That's an insane play from Gremlin. He takes out Noah from the might of below, and that is a problem again. 223 do not have a solution here. You can see Gremlin kind of panicking, trying to shoot through the walls, but I think that's absolutely fine as that cash out will stay in the hands of Scallywags.
Yeah, a really great steal from the Scallywags, and then immediately pivoting to a nice defensive position. I think that they've got some really great moves in this series so far.
Exactly, and like I said here, 223 really need to get themselves into this game, and they need to continue that momentum. Again, as soon as they take one win, they try and snowball them and get them fired up for the rest of this one. Like I said, the communication is probably going to be crazy right now, and they do believe that they can beat Scallywags too, but it's, again, these plays that Gremlin can do with the Winchclaw to step up.
There's a great RPG that went off. It did look like it did a lot of damage to a Telco. Samco Box is trying to run around with that shotgun. He is in front of all of the Scallywags right now. Probably not the best move because he does go down. And Salvo is the last remaining member with 65 HP. He does get the res off of on Wally, and he's now trying to heal him, but they are still down. Oh, no, look at that. Gremlin is back in the fight as well now. And we have both teams 3v3 fighting over this vault still. We see Samco Box goes down, and it is now 2v2 on both teams. Nice shot with the model there, and the wipe does go off, and it does look like the Scallywags are in control of this next vault.
Yep, again, these fights don't mean as much, but what it can mean is obviously the guarantee of players to play on the defense here, and it looks like they are going to go towards cash out A. It's just, we're really looking, of course, Gremlin is going to coin back in, by the way, if everyone's watching, to make sure. And look at this, though. The cash out A, as I said before, it's in a place where they can kind of manipulate it. They can bring it outside, and they can stay from the high ground here as well. And it looks like they will jump pad, bring it down. Again, as we said, rinse and repeat this type of strategy. You can bring that down and play it in the open, and they are in a great position here for the Scallywags.
Yeah, and this is what I mean by this is a great balanced position for them. And they're playing so off point. So I believe that they have a C4 on there. Whenever the steal starts to happen, they're just going to drop it, and it's immediately going to shoot to the edge of the map. And that is in such a good position because then they have the high ground. And honestly, I just don't see the Scallywags losing this. They're in such a good spot, such a good position for this cash out. Fighting is going down. Noah X is trying to get some shots off. He is standing by that APS. The APS is eating some bullets. But oh no, the Scallywags have gotten 2 people down, and that is a team wipe again. Yeah, I just had a feeling that they were in such a good defensive position. They didn't even have to drop that cash out yet.
Sam brought 2 players down to low HP as well, Wallio and Gremlin, with a slither of health between them. But right now, the differential is, as you're seeing here, it's these players stepping up. Just, again, so close, these fights that are happening right now in 2-3, and you have one more opportunity here.
Yeah, one more fight, and man, they have to make it work. But I just have to point out that the Scallywags are looking good right now. You can even see that they are getting set up a little bit of ways away. They're ready for that push. I think that they still have that C4 off, so they have everything going for them. And man, 223 needs to step up. This is their opportunity. This is their last fight. I think they're even getting ready for that push, or the bounce, because look at how far away they are. Here we go. First fight coming up. You see the DMAT going up. But
the bounce pad is below that cash out A, so they actually don't have that much time. Look at this. They're going to try and go for it here, but the dematerializer, they might not know this. Atelka here might have this. The winch claw goes out, but it just misses. And they will try and go for the steal, but the bounce pad there launches the cash out away. And that is so frustrating there for 223. They will try and go for another steal once again here. Atelka holding on for the rest of his life. The winch claw going out. Make that a double. And unfortunately, a triple there for Atelka. Wasn't towards his favor, though. And Scallywags still managed to get the victory, but that could have been a massive play.
wow, yeah. And the bounce and then the winch claw, that kind of what the compositions are, how they're playing. And, you know, I don't know. I do think you're right, but I think that the Scallywags might be a little just more prepared. They might have just come into this with more strategies. And I think that we've talked about this before, but I know that Gremlin and his team are working on communication. And you know what? They might have just figured it out.
Here we go then. Is this the start of a snowball here for Scallywags? We're on to map 2. It's 2-2-3 versus Scallywags here. NA versus EU, the all-time classic esports matches against each other under the floodlights of Las Vegas. But it is daytime, and is it time for Atelka's team to get another map back in the favor? I'm pretty sure they chose this one as well. And instantly on the low ground here is 2-2-3.
Yep, they're going for the first vault. They do get it tapped, but it does look like the Scallywags are above them, maybe on that Megadome. Yep, just waiting for the 2-2-3 to make their move. They're going to have to set up and get something going on, but I'm not sure that we'll really see any combat happen just yet. We do see a bounce pad set up for the Scallywags, so they are ready to jump in there at a moment's notice. I think that they're going to try and make it towards B, which does look like where the 2-2-3 is starting to head.
Yep, exactly here. And Atelka has gone, obviously, kept with his might to the model here. And I think it was Noah who swapped, maybe, I didn't see that, but they maybe swapped back to the model here. Could obviously be because it is Las Vegas instead. Maybe a difference here, but obviously have to see when we get that perspective back in the hands of them as well. That Vault 1 is also being moved. Still the high ground here. RPG going in from the high ground here as Gremlin gets countered by the APS. And now going in here, and Noax goes down. And again, the snowball here for Gremlin can keep this one going as well. Puts down the dome shield. Again, Noah falling down twice in a row there. One of the teammates on Scallywags goes down, but it's back to a 3v1 if I'm not mistaken right now. And it's going to be Gremlin here with Salvo to transport that over towards Cash Out B.
Yep, and we see the C4 going off immediately. This is what I've pointed out time and time again. The Scallywags have a really good defense. You saw them immediately getting set up for it, and now they are a little spread out and just waiting and getting ready for the push from 2-2-3. And I think that they're going to be more than prepared by the time that they show up. So we're seeing this time and time again where 2-2-3 is having to push up against the defensive side from the Scallywags, and I don't know if they've learned yet what they need to do, but we do see that 2-2-3 has started to make their way into B. They are all in that same room. They're just trying to figure out what to do next. It does look like they winch clawed the cash out and brought it into the circle of an APS. Dome shield went down, but we see Sam Kabak's jumping up, getting some great shots off with that shotgun, and he does bring one member down, and that is a team wipe for the Scallywags. Well done, 2-2-3. That was a great execution on that point.
This is the start of something here to get them back into the hands as well. 2-2-3 finally getting themselves alive here, getting that team wipe as well. And this could be a big defensive play here. The cash out currently on 50% of the way as well. Like I said before, do not keep your eyes off of 2-2-3 here, because if they get that cash out in the favor of them, they can keep this one steamrolling as well.
Yeah, I think that we haven't really seen the defensive side from 2-2-3, so let's see what they do. We see that they're set up on the roof right now, taking pop shots with that model. Jump pad goes in, and we see, who is that? Noah is doing some great damage with that model. Ooh, brings down Wally with a great shot, and honestly, they're looking great right now. They're bringing people down from the Scallywags. Still more shots going off. One person down. Oh no, he shouldn't have taken that bounce pad. It does look like the Scallywags just ended up getting a wipe, and man, I don't know what 2-2-3 was thinking there. They just went head first into that offensive play, and instead of playing it a little more safe, a little more defensively. Yeah, it's a shame to see.
You know, I'm sorry. You have to look at those missed shots there. That's not acceptable as a player that had that free opportunity. The players are right in front of him. I mean, yeah, I know you could say, oh well, Dix, you're not as good as skilled as these players, but all you have to do in those situations is just be calm, keep your nerves, and you also pointed out as well that jump pad as well did kind of trick those players off guard as well. Maybe that's an excuse, but I see pressure here. That's what I see, and also an RPG going in here as well from the low ground here. It looks like they want to make a statement. The winch claw's also going out as well. 2-2-3 needs to claw this back up here. Salvo goes down. One of the players behind him is also low as well, trying to go for the revive here. Gremlin also falls as well. The raid boss has been eliminated, and that does mean the coins fall here from the high ground of Scallywags now. Again, we're seeing this time again for 2-2-3 as they get that first eliminations that they need to. They get the first wipe, but they can't keep it going. They can't pull off of their advantages with it, and they need to have this happen right here, right now. The Scallywags have the first cash out. They have the first 10K, and I don't know, Rio. This is going to come down to the wire now.
It is going to come down to the wire, but I think that we are seeing a more put together 2-2-3 than we saw in this last map. So they have control of this vault. Can they set up their defenses? Can they get it going? I think that this is their opportunity, their chance, because if they end up losing this map, it is just going to be pretty much an uphill battle that I don't think that they can do. But we are seeing the Scallywags start to bounce pad over. They are right on top of this cash out, and it looks like 2-2-3 is starting to move a little bit away from it, but they are still very close to this cash out. So they're playing it really, I don't know, risky move by just being so close to it, because what's going to happen is this confrontation is going to start immediately, and I don't think that that's really what they want. Maybe it is so that they die and they get one more chance at it, but it's not what I would pick. Fighting is starting to happen. We see Wally with the dome shield going down. He does get winched and pulled out of place, and Salvo is the last remaining member. He does bring down a Telco, but he can't do anything off of that.
Yeah, nicely played there for those players as well. Pretty standard, as I would say, and now they're just waiting for the cash out in time.
Yeah, I think that it does look like this one will go to 2-2-3. They've got one last push that they've got to defend for. Scallywags did just respawn. It looks like they kind of spawned a little bit of ways away, so by the time that they get there, I'm betting that the cash out will be probably about 3/4 of the way in. So this is looking like 2-2-3 might have their first cash out of this series.
Here it is then, 2-2-3, potentially up to their shoulders here, as the cash out is just above 50% now. This, again, the doubts of their minds, the people that wrote them off here, Atelco's team will have to play effectively here without making mistakes. Red Barrel goes in, Gremlin with a massive play, but he gets winched out and instant to a dome shield. These players now keeping that momentum going, and that is a quick wipe, the fastest wipe we have probably seen so far in these playoffs, and this is huge for these players. Again, you can probably see, again, they stop moving their mouse there a little bit, so you can see on the communication, they are probably screaming their voices out for this one. And I would love to hear the communication. I'm not too sure if we have this in production, but if we're going to the next one, the biggest cash out right now is it's going to go down to probably this one here. Could map 2 go into the hands of 2-2-3?
Yeah, I think that they have a big opportunity here, and I think that it's really showing that they can. We do have a listen in, so we'll hop into that in just a moment here, but we'll get the Vault fight started over Vault 3. This one, they tend to play a little more conservatively because both teams know that this is going to be the deciding factor. And we might not even see a fight happen over Vault 3. We might see that the Scallywags or 2-2-3 end up taking it. But what is happening now? I'm eating my words as they jump onto the Megadome. We see Wally goes down. Noah is on 20 health. He switched over to try and bring his team back, and they do get a nice wipe right from that. We missed the beginning of that fight, but we were able to see what happened at the end, and Vault 3 does finally get tapped.
Again, I would have loved to have heard the communication there, but I think it is a bit too late. So we'll have to get that a little bit later on. Again, that cash out 3, or that Vault 3 now, can be transported over. And the question is here is they are now finally picking up their momentum and their pace for themselves here. If they can keep this one going, and they can, again, know that they are a good unit together. We've seen this before, especially in the last match. We've seen how well they work together. They have a massive defense here, and it's going to be right now. It's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, and I think as soon as we get this vault put in place, let's hopefully hop over to a listen in and see how they end up getting set up. We do see a fight starting to happen on the roof, so the vault isn't even put in place. Etelko goes with a nice nade, does do a lot of damage, damages the roof. He's trying to bring his teammate back. He gets Noah back, but both of them are on half health, and he goes down. It does not look good for Noah as he goes down as well and gets wiped.
Yep, ton of cards there. Again, as you said before, if these players on the Scallywags are going to be set up on the high ground first, then that is a problem. But yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, I'd love to hear at least at one point when 223 are going to be speaking on their comms, just because you can hear how aggressive they are. I know obviously we're coming down to the last cash out, so we want to keep an eye on ourselves, but I'm not too sure what production wants to do here. I need to be told. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that I keep going. But anyway, so we're going to keep it here in the perspective of the Scallywags right now. They have managed to put the C4 down on that cash out as well, so they are going to, again, crawl on the outside of the cash out right now.
Yeah, we do see them getting set up. We see the Scallywags in a nice position. They are all staying really close to each other, so this is a good setup, but they are pretty close to this cash out. So as soon as 223 ends up hopping on here, we are going to see a fight, but I'm not really sure where 223 is at the moment. Hopefully they're coming in maybe below it to try and drop the cash out, but I'm honestly just not sure.
Yeah, exactly. And here we can see the cash out being stolen initially. That C4 has been eaten by the APS here. A winch claw going out as well. The cash out has been stolen. Back in the favor here of 223. Now, Sam, if you can just be patient here with your players in a telco, you can retake the high ground exactly just like this now. The cash out is being counter stolen, but again, these players are being patient here. A bit of nerves here for the Scallywags as they are now on the back foot here. Mesh shield going out, interestingly enough, as well to eat the RPG that just got shot by Sam. Now players driving in. Sam here needs this one for his team. It's back to a 2v2, and now we can see here the revive also comes back out here from Noah. Salvo also down to low HP. It's a battle for health here. The revive comes out. Wallio down to low HP, and it looks like 223 get it back on the board, and that is what we want to see for this French team.
Yeah, they absolutely dominated there. That was great play, and honestly, by the time they respawn, I don't think that the Scallywags have time to get back in it. So this is absolutely what they needed for this match, and I'm really proud that they were able to bring it back together. Do you think that we'll see one last push? They did just respawn.
Comms, production, please can we listen to comms? I'm begging you. Right now, this would be great. I don't think they'll take it, so we're going to hear them being hyped. Can we do it? I'm hoping. I don't think we can. Oh, I would love to hear the...
The opportunity.
It's fine. We'll get back. We'll get
more efficiently and work as a cohesive unit. They're usually the ones that end up winning. So I love that we have probably some of the best teams playing now that I've seen, and both teams have really a lot going for them as we load into Fortune Stadium for this next match.
That is right. We've got a game on our hands here. Let us know in the chat how hyped you are for this one. Which team are you repping? Do you think that 223 can keep that momentum going, or was this just a short roadblock here for Scallywags? As you can see here, 223 on the high ground once again here. RPG going out, taking some players down to low HP here again. Telco is going to be a little bit more patient here with the model. They do know that they have tagged down players before, and he is going to be chipping some shots in here as well. Sam going down to low HP, being taken out. That's a trade though from Telco with the first model shot back down to a CV3. The revivers also go back up. Wallio also goes down as well, and Telco wants this match, and he wants it now.
Yeah, that was some violent model shooting from him, and really accurate shots. So he was pretty much the defining force between that fight. And he is going to take this vault and get it entered into A, and they're going to have their team set up perfectly right as the enemy team spawns. So I'm curious, we've seen them in this exact position before. They tend to stay on this top level and then fight it as it tends to drop. So I'm curious to see what 223 are going to do next in this fight.
Yeah, and again, it's just that patience game, really. Just keeping your nerves intact as well, because again, you have I call it the opposite nerves, right? You have the nerves of not thinking you're good enough, but then you have also nerves where you're playing too good, and you kind of get sidetracked about your mission, about the reason why you're doing things. You get cocky, and you kind of extend beyond the line again. We said before, teams splitting up from each other too, and yeah, I'm hoping that 223 can keep the momentum here.
Yeah, well, not only that, but they've bought a lot of time. Either the Scallywags spawned really far away, or they're taking more of a methodical approach to it. But right now, they're starting to push in, and they are... Cash out is halfway there. Scallywags are really bunched up, and 223 is in a great position. They've got the height advantage, and they're all surrounded by that APS, so anything that comes up, nades or anything, just absolutely get eaten up. Scallywags are starting to demat through. I thought they were going to through the stairs, but it doesn't look like that way. They're getting on the zip line, getting up to that high level, and now we are going to see the fight, and when both teams end up clashing here, over Cash Out A. Grenade or RPG goes off. We see the winch claw going off on Gremlin, but he did not get it. He is pulling out the RPG, trying to get set up, pulls it back for a moment, gets that APS turret down, doing some great work with his shotgun. Samco box went down. RPG went off, but Gremlin is down to just a little bit of health. He's trying to make anything happen, and sadly he does get wiped, so 223 will retain control over this Cash Out for the moment.
And you have to really give dividends here to Noah here. You can see where this position is that Sam is. Noah quickly picked up the APS, placed it back down as well. And it's just those small things that Noah is also doing in the camera. We don't see that because, again, obviously all the action's happening. Noah is playing very, very well here as a support player in this situation is the role I would give him. And again, Sam here, using the barricade. That is also a big difference too. Sam has selected the barricade, and that's something I noticed and asked the Telco about. Why is he using that instead?
Yeah, I think it's a great defensive spot. There it goes. Cash Out dropped, and we see Gremlin trying to get that winch claw off. He did get it and get some great shots off with the shotgun, and they are down. So the Scallywags just came in and obliterated 223, but I don't think it's enough time, and they weren't able to get the Cash Out. So really great push from the Scallywags, just timed kind of poorly, but that was due to the wipe as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see here as well, probably not phasing 223. You know, we'd love to see a close map between each other as well. But as soon as you get that first cash out, you kind of write them off, especially if, you know, you say, you know, guys, it's fine. We just got eliminated, whatever. But the point of this one now is that Gremlin, Salvo, and Wally have managed to tag Vault 2 here. So we're going to see our first technically defensive plays here from Scallywags.
Yeah, and they are set up in a nice high position, and they're just waiting, looking, trying to get any sign of where 223 is. They're not even going for the vault just yet, but it does look like they might right now. Nope, not just yet. Both teams are just kind of set up. Gremlin finally breaks the glass. He does grab the vault, and I'm betting that they're going to try and take it to C. Yep, they are taking the bounce pad over, but they might run directly into 223 as they do this. I'm sorry, Scallywags, right as they start to move it. But both teams are right on top of this vault. Not sure if any fighting has gotten started just yet, because they are a little bit of ways away, but both teams are playing this pretty conservatively. They know what each team can bring to this fight.
Yep, and here we go. And really interesting to see what the comms are here. Look at Noah putting the APS down at the perfect time as well. This is exactly the player you need here, but the players on the other side of the Scallywags will winch Noah in. He's in some trouble now. The model not being effective. Down to a 2v3. It's down to a 3v1 as well. And unfortunately, one more player left here. It's going to be a Telco, I think, and he will have to get eliminated. It's Wallio and Salvo. Thanks to the help as well of Gremlin winching in the problem player right now, which was Noah. Maybe was a communication there to be given to Gremlin to winch that player in. And, hey, Scallywags take the advantage.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to get the vault entered in there, and they're going to be able to get set up. I think that both teams really shine when it comes to defense, so both teams have an uphill battle when they're trying to push into the other side's defensive side. And I think that this cash out itself also is a really hard one, because it's kind of towards the side of the map. It's in a kind of a barricaded area, and it is easy to set up, but they're not even going for that. They're going for the advantage, the height advantage, and it does look like they're able to cut off the 223 on their advance.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see here from the high ground as well, 223 are going to be patient. That cash out has been just over 25% as we speak as well. And their goal right now is to find what 223 are doing. It is currently going to be potentially put back in the hands here of 223 if they're not careful. And they have noticed that from the low ground here, it's going to be a steal potentially happening right now if they can hold it off. Sam is actually kind of confused. He's wondering why they haven't managed to do anything. The winch claw going back out as well. No steal, surprisingly enough, though. And they have to back off now. That winch claw and I think it was the jump pad combo has moved Cash Out C a little bit further away from them now. They will have to try again for a second attempt here. And this time, Scallywags will be prepared for it.
Yeah, they've got to make their push right now, and it does look like they are in great... Oh my god, great rocket goes off. We see the winch claw going off as well. Salvo goes down from Samcobox. He is just chasing these other players, trying to get any more damage off. He does get Gremlin down, and it's down to Telco, down to a little bit of health. And he's trying to scram, is trying to get Noah back up there. Telco's taking damage in the meantime, and they just have to buy a little bit of time and get this cash out stolen. There it goes. There's a nice another kill from on Salvo. Salvo goes down, but honestly, 223 has got to make a move right now.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's going to be stolen. To be fair, it might just be put in the hands here of 223. And again, hopefully if we get the comms there as well, to hear what they say at the match ending, I think that it's going to be all done and dusted for them.
Yeah, they've done it. They have really started to come back, and I'm quite
nice. Because they've been telling me how hyped they were. So I'm not too sure there. I really don't think they're being...
Than we're letting on to, and I think that he just hasn't really shown up in these last two matches. So I'm hoping that they're able to pivot off of what they've learned in these last few matches and just make some changes. And let's see it. I want to go to map 5. Come on, guys, let's make it happen.
That is right. And as you guys are just tuning in, potentially, we do have 2 maps in the favor of 223, 1 map in the hand of Scallywags. If 223 wins this, they will advance forward into the grand finals. Let me know in the chat who you are supporting, what team you are thinking will win this EU versus NA in the first fight happening right here. Already a winch claw going off there as well. It's Sam who goes down to 3 bars for that model being affected there for Noah, and it's an instantly quick wipe there. Scallywags go down.
Yeah. That was right off the bat. Seems like both teams are really primed and just ready. They're not going to play this conservatively. They just jumped right into that, and Scallywags unfortunately got wiped. So this is kind of leading more towards, I think that 223 is just pumped. And if they can take this momentum and keep it going, I don't think Scallywags stand a chance. But we'll have to see them set up. We see that 223 is standing around the vault. We do have the elevated... what is it? I'm drawing a blank on what mode this is. This is the middle of the map is raised up. And it's a nice variation of it because it does make the fighting happening kind of in a more central area and a little bit spread out more once it goes off. High Rise, that's the name. I am remembering that now.
Oh, sorry, you're... Oh, my bad. Yeah, I was zoned out. My bad. I didn't really with my question. Sorry. Sorry, man. I was... Basically, in my head here, I'm just thinking why they're moving away from the Vault 1, because they could easily have just taken the Vault 1 towards A, and I'm just kind of trying to understand, like, why Telcos did this, because I know they might want to go to cash out A, but I was thinking, why not go to cash out B, right? It's just... This is just what I'm trying to solve right now.
Yeah, and I mean... You know, both teams are playing it a little slow. I felt like that first clash was going to, you know, dictate the speed of this, but we are seeing a lot of fighting happening just over, you know, the rooftops, and we've pointed this out time and time again that these fights are pretty inconsequential. It's both teams just kind of sizing each other up, but I take it back. Looks like the Scallywags were able to get the throw in, and it is on A, so it's in a really open area. A lot of potential to drop it, but both teams are just kind of fighting over this rooftop, and it's not the great strategy. One team needs to make a move because they're just eating up time on both sides of this fight.
Yeah, exactly. And what I'm hoping for here is potentially a dive-in exactly with that. The jump pad here. Gremlin opting to go towards the left side. They do have the lower of the high grounds, and he is separated right now. Gremlin's in trouble. The jump pad goes up. He's only down to 100 HP. Being healed, though, by Salvo, who do manage to scrap some health together, but charging in, driving in was Noah. Goes down to Gremlin's first elimination. Gremlin going huge here with the SA-12 shotgun. His teammates also fall 2-3. Below the feet, the coins splash across the arena here on the map. And there is going to be back in the hands here of Scallywags. Again, Skyway Stadium being a bit of a surprising factor here. They do want to play the high ground cash out Avrio, but it just didn't go their way. Yeah,
and honestly, there was such a bad move for the 223 to push in to that hallway with Gremlin right there with the shotgun. It was like shooting fish in a barrel. He just took shot after shot, and damage just went rain down on them. So not the best move. You shouldn't have followed him. You should have let him go and run away, but it does look like Scallywags will take control of this cash out, and they've got to defend it for one more push from 223 as they start to make their advance. We see that who's that, a Telco just setting up right below. I think they're going to try and drop it below, but they are trying to make some damage happen. We see the DMAT going off inside this building. A lot of explosions going off. Noah is down. Samcobox is down. He does El Telco brings Noah back, but he is not in a good position. He gets one shot off before he dies. It's down to just Wally. He does get the res, and it does look like they are able to get this team wipe. Wow, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you could kind of call that it was a misplay for 223 to dive in and try and get the elimination onto Gremlin and Salvo, who was down to low HP. You can obviously say to myself, yeah, well, Thix, you know, they were on the ones that didn't have the advantage. 223 had the health. But again, when you're playing up against the weapons, such as the model, for example, if you're caught off guard and you have players like Gremlin who are able to handle the pressure, you're in a lot of trouble and you cannot make a mistake here. And again, I just think that was a bit of a misplay here from 223 to go and lose their high ground position.
Yeah, and I think that we're getting into a great position that we'd love to have a listen in for either 223 or Scallywags. So production, if you're able to make that happen, we're getting into a new vault fight. I think that would be a great chance to just hear what's going on. But until we get that tapped in, we do see that Noah X is grabbing that red barrel, tries to go for a fight. Both teams throw down the dome shield, getting some great pop shots from Noah. He gets Salvo down, gets another kill, and he is able to get Gremlin down. His whole team is up, and I believe it's 2v1, 3v1 at this point. Shotguns are going off. Salvo is down again. Telco is down as well. Noah is down to 58 health, and he is just trying to make anything happen. Ooh, great shot on Wally. Brings him down and does get the wipe on the Scallywags. Let's do it.
Okay. This isn't an awful spawn. Hotel's rough. Okay, let's go left. I'm gonna pad up, okay?
Yep. They might be on top hotel.
Yeah, they are. They're looking. They have a glitch.
Do we want to pad?
Let's get aggro, yes.
Pad.
Okay.
Pad right?
Awesome there. Thank you so much, production. And that is the communication from Scallywags, who are the ones having to attack right now. Again, it's 2-2-3 on defense right here. They are trying to get back in the hands of this cash out to bring it back to a 1-to-1. Glitch barrel going in effectively. The APS, for some reason, didn't stop it. And it's Sam going in here. Wallio goes down to a 2v2. And now it's Noax here trying to get the eliminations back. He's trying to also get the defib back up. Is successful. Telco goes back up on his feet here. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's back down to a 2v1, if I'm not sure. But it is going to be Sam who has unfortunately fell, and now Noah is playing the finding game here. All players back up. Sam has coined back in. We'll have to take some time to get back into the action. And again, Telco here is desperately trying to find out where these players are, Rio.
Yeah, I don't know if he has time to find him. I mean, because the cash out is just running out of time, and it does look like Telco is in a great position to just hold off any last push. We are running low on time, and honestly, 2-2-3 is in a great position for this cash out. I think that we're going to go down to the last one. It does look like Gremlin's trying to get some shots off. Great job getting Sam Kabox, but he is down to the last person remaining. He is trying to get that trophy and get his teammate rezzed, but he's right underneath the enemy team, so it is not the best positioning. They are climbing up, continuing the fight. One of them goes down. Gremlin's at very low health. He's trying to make something happen. He does get a Telco down, but he goes down as well, and they get the wipe. And so 2-2-3 will get this cash out. Oh, even the emote. Sam.
Oh.
Good
That
shot.
is crazy. Yeah, you can tell they're starting to feel themselves now, 2-2-3. If they're starting the emotes, you know that they are getting back into this one as well. And hey, I would love to obviously kind of hear the perspective of 2-2-3 as we go towards the next vault. I kind of wait for my confirmation there. But yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think that they're being a little bit more cautious now, and I think that's favoring 2-2-3. We saw the first fight was a bit unfortunate going against them, and they were just a bit too rash in their decision-making here. So much better.
Yeah, and we are going to come down to this last vault. Both teams are set up from each other, really spread out. We're going to see basically the rooftop fights again. I'm not sure that this is really going to go anywhere other than both teams just trying to prove that, hey, I can take control of this vault. And it does look like the tap goes off from 2-2-3, and they are in the more, I don't know, perfect position for them to take this vault and probably run over to, what is that, B? I think the B would be the perfect spot for them, and they wouldn't even have to fight the Scallywags. But it's still going on. Everybody's shooting shotguns at a long distance. Some people are taking half health. Really not the fight that we want to see. We just want them to kind of get this vault and enter it into B or D.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a listen here for 2-2-3. I'm not too sure again if we can do that. Again, that vault is being moved over as well. And we're ready for the listening.
On drop instant.
Vas-y, go, on y va.
Vas-y.
Sur moi.
Grimpe.
J'ai mort, toi encore, j'ai pas de pad,
J'ai rien. On campe le body, on va grimper.
Je vais vers toi un peu.
Go aller sur 3.
C'est bon, je l'ai. Venez, un pad ou pas?
Non, j'ai rien gros.
Ok, tranquille. Go rester un peu sur le corps.
On reste à côté du body. Deuxième étage, deuxième étage. Deuxième étage.
Vas-y, je les nade.
Ok.
Je mets un pas sur moi, reviens.
Je suis avec Sam, je suis avec Sam. Je suis avec Sam, je suis avec Sam.
Tu les push?
Attention C4, attention C4.
Ouais.
Attention.
Ils sont deuxième étage, je
Ok,
crois.
venez
Chill,
vers
chill.
moi, venez vers moi.
Chill.
Et je mets un pas d'ici, on va y aller.
Go reset. On va sur le point directement?
Ouais, go sur le point. Frère,
Allez les gars.
je fais une noix là aussi.
Thank you so much, production. That is, Rio, that is a lot of passion.
Yeah, they are hyped. They have a lot of emotion going on this, and you can see why. Fighting is happening inside this tiny little area. A lot of shotguns going off, a lot of reses as well. Hard to tell who's shooting who, but it does look like Gremlin gets away from there with just a little bit of health, and it does look like 223 will have the dominating force on this cash out. And they just got to hold it a little bit longer, and that's it. They win. This is really, really critical for the Scallywags to make something happen absolutely right now.
Just dropping in there as well last second, Rio.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, they basically, the cash out's going to be halfway there by the time they make this last push. So I don't know.
I just want to say, I love the fact that they've also moved that cash out D outside of this building as well. And Rio, it's all or nothing right now, okay? We have this final cash out here. This could bring 223 towards the victory as well. The players now trying to get the high ground from distance as well. Salio, Wally, and Gremlin against the might of 223 on the rooftops here. That cash out D is moving just past 50% as well. These players will want to hold on for the rest of their life right now. And again, driving in. Here is Salvo from an angle. And Salvo's on his own. He's spotted himself in trouble, down to 68.
No.
He falls. It's down to a 3v2, down to a 2v2. Noah's also down as well. It's Sam Wicks throwing in, and it might be Scallywags Rio taking it back.
Yeah, I don't know what 223 did wrong there. They kind of got separated and then chased down. They might have one last good dive on it, but as you mentioned, it has been bounced and is out on the open. Even more so, dragged over there by Gremlin to the edge of the map. And that is going to be a very difficult challenge if 223 is even able to push in. But yeah, timing-wise, I don't think so. I think this is going to go to the Scallywags, and it will bring us to map 5. Oh my god.
Rio, the emote jinx did it. Oh, no. Exactly. The cash out goes flying across the arena as well, as we just saw there. And the Scallywags getting the money back on. It's down to map 5, guys. This is going
by a sky bridge and just kind of a rooftop. So if what teams tend to do is they tend to drop the crane and drop the sky bridge that we're looking at right now, so that it forces one lane of combat to happen on this map. And if you are defending the cash out on that spot, it makes it where you are in a secure position. And yeah, so anything will happen.
Yeah.
It does look like we get the under construction variant. So we have a lot of elevated structures. We have more cranes going on. And honestly, it's just going to add to the utter chaos of this map.
That is right. You should all get hyped here at home. We're on towards map 5. We have Scallywags versus 223. This game has come down to a gridlock position. And again, whoever you're watching is supporting the French side or the North America side, get ready because this one is going to be an absolute brawl here. From the high ground right now, we have Scallywags. Look at this as well. We have the FAMAS in the hands here of Salvo, who eliminates Noah straight away. But going down from the low ground is Sam, who also falls as well. And it looks like a strong initial impression here for Scallywags.
Yeah, that was a great push. And I mean, defensive side, I'm not sure why 223 decided to jump up there, and they really put themselves in a bad position because then the Scallywags ended up capitalizing on what just happened there. And, in a fight like this, in a map like this, it's not what you want. We do see the bounce pad.
Rio, the FAMAS.
Yeah,
I love Rio.
I love that they bring up the FAMAS. It's one of my favorite weapons for a medium to use, and it can be really effective if it's done well. So they are going to get that spawn in the hospital in pretty much one of the hardest spots to push that I was just talking about. I think they're going to try and drop the sky bridge if they have time. But we do see both teams are already getting ready for a clash on B.
Yeah, high ground here. You can see Noah driving in here with his teammates again. They are playing this a bit more rash here. He has spotted out one of the players, but goes in towards the dome as well. And there it is. Noah getting elimination to Gremlin. Goes down to low HP. Noah get the second, but it is going to be Sam to take it back up into a 2v3 now. Revive's coming back out. It's now a 3v1, if I'm not mistaken. And it is going to be Scallywags here under some pressure. And it is Salvo running away here on 1 bar of HP. And Salvo decides to jump off the map there. And it is going to be a wipe.
Yep, so this will change hands, and it will go in the favor of 223. And now they've got the defensive advantage. And honestly, with a spawn, depending on where they spawn, this can be really hard. And as we see, they're going to the high ground. they're making sure that no access is there. I'm not sure if the sky bridge is still around. It is, so they haven't dropped it. So the Scallywags do have more than one way of getting there. But we're going to switch over here for just a second to hear the Scallywags as there's sky bridge, the Scallywags as they make their advance onto Cash Out B.
All
Good
right.
drop. D-Mat on money. D-Mat on money. Wally, come
Okay.
here. They're gonna be under, I think.
They're gonna be under. All right.
I'm winched.
Atalco dead. Atalco dead.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Last. It's a heavy. It's a heavy.
Oh no.
Go.
Fib.
Red.
He dropped. Steal.
No. Stay up with Salvo.
Oh.
Okay, it's fine. That was res me.
You take it.
What an amazing steal that we just saw happen there. And oh my god, the fighting is still going on. It does look like the Scallywags will be able to get it, but Atelco goes for a nice little dive. He tries to get it, and is he going to be able to get the steal? The D-Mat goes off. They tried to bounce it, but it did not work for them. And it does look like the Scallywags were able to take that in the end. Oh no, I'm sorry. That is 223 was able to take it. They are in orange.
Yeah.
And Scallywags is in pink.
That was a steal. Exactly. This is insane. I'm actually just shocked of what we just saw there. So basically it was the reverse plays, and again we could obviously talk about this fight happening right now. I don't think that's important. I want to break down to the viewer quickly what just happened. So you had these players have the correct spawn to drive in and get the momentum to steal the cash out in the first place, but Atelco going in there, holding the cash out, the jump pad allowed Atelco to still hold the steal. It didn't bounce the cash out, Rio.
Yeah, no, and they tried, they just missed it by just a little tiny bit. So, you know, that's what happens. You have to be really precise with this. It does look like the Scallywags were able to pull off another team wipe here. So they will be, you know, more preferred for the next vault as it comes up, Vault 2.
Yeah. Exactly. This is insane. Yes, it said stay alive. I think it was 1 HP as well. They couldn't even stop the steal. So yeah, that was actually insane. Again, hopefully we see the replays for that later on as we get to the end of this match. But hey, first of all, we have the point here in the hands, and now this could be it. It could all go down to this.
Yep.
Rio.
And somebody in chat said that wasn't a steal, that was a robbery, and I absolutely agree.
Hey, you should come take my job. That was a better way to explain it. But yeah, no, 100%. 2-2-3 taking that is just absolutely insane. And now we have, again, real pressure here for the Scallywags. They have, again, the low ground here against them. You can see, again, the high ground here of 2-2-3 is going to be a lot more preferred. But the Scallywags have the vault in their hands. And they have a massive wish on their shoulder. They have a dream on their shoulder, Rio. This is coming to the grand finals. It all comes down to this one. No more mistakes can be made here. No more excuses, and all the words have been spoken.
Absolutely, and just pointing out, we do have orbital lasers going on, so no team can stand still for more than a second, or a big giant laser comes down. As we did see, it did cause a little chaos on their APS turret for Noah, but they are in a good spot. Both teams are kind of fighting this, you know, sky top fight, but we do see that they are starting to push. Scallywags are going in, and they are getting some great shots off. While he goes down, it is down to just Noah. Can he survive long enough? He is trying to get any shots he can, bring his team back, but he did not, and 223 does get wiped by the Scallywags in that fight there. And it does look like the Scallywags will take Vault 2 and get it started. Oh, he goes for the throw, but not good enough. It does look like they're going to try and get C started for this cash out.
Exactly, and since April, Breakout started here. A long journey for these players. A lot of doubts potentially going through them. And again, decisions to be made of what they can do, how they can improve. And it all comes down to the test of time here. The very last potential cash out if 2-2-3 take it, Rio. And again, the high ground here of Scallywags are on the crane.
Yeah, and Scallywags is in a great position. That crane gives you the ultimate high ground. In fact, normally it's the strategy is to drop that immediately so that you don't have a team set up where they are, because it just makes it such a hard push for 2-2-3. Yeah, there we go. There's the red barrels going off, and they do drop the crane. It does force the Scallywags to jump off of it, but they are in still a good position. Their cash out is counting down, and we don't see any combat going off just yet. They're kind of staying in the back burner of this and just waiting for anything to pop off. You see the Gremlin pushing in. He has that dome shield in hand, ready to drop it down at a moment's notice. The APS turret is set up by the 2-2-3 as they're trying to go for the steal. The cash out gets winched away right from underneath them. Gremlin is down to low health. Wally is the last remaining person. He does get Samco Box, but he goes down as well. So this steal will happen. And yeah,
And it's a massive play there from 223. They bring it back in the hands as well. Cash out now just above 50%, Rio. This is insane. This can bring them through. The Scallywags can be knocked out here. I have not seen this happen right now. To be in the situation where you have to jump up and spawn, go for an instant steal. This is going to go down to the absolute wire. There will be one final chance here for the Scallywags, and it is now or never. You can see them here on the low ground. They have a good spawn as well. Again, everything could be resting here on the shoulders of 223. They're driving in. Gadgets and abilities flying across here as well. It's Salvo going in with the FAMAS from long range. He manages to get one of the players low, and it is going to be an elimination here. A telco goes down. The cash out can be stolen. Players are going to have to go in here. But look at Gremlin down to low HP and taken out as well. And again, the revives are coming back up here as well. And it might just be, if no one could get it in time, they're still coming back for Scallywags to qualify them through. It's the Scallywags coming out of nowhere. Again, the spawn on Seoul brings Scallywags the victory, the 1-1 to come back into this one. And now one final steal is the potential for Scallywags, Rio. This is insane. It is the actual knife point end of wire.
both teams have absolutely just got to get this. This is insane. We came 5 maps all the way down to this last cash out, and this is going to be a decider right here. I think that whoever gets this cash out entered in might have the advantage just because of the way Seoul is, and right now it's just not looking good I shouldn't say it's not looking good. It's looking great for both teams, and I just don't know who's going to end up taking this in the end. But I am excited. We see the advance starting to happen from Sam Kubox and his team as they push in. A lot of fighting happening over Vault 3. Whoever takes this is going to have the slight advantage going forward to get set up on their defenses. Salvo down to very low health. He switched over to Healing Beam instead of that FAMAS. They are all set up on the staircase. Throw the APS down. They are getting charged. That Winch Claw goes off, and Metelko is down as their last person, 30 HP, and he sadly does get wiped. And Gremlin is the last remaining member, and he is just trying to make sure that the Scallywags can get this Vault 3 and get it entered.
Yeah, exactly. And I just wanted to talk about that last fight too. That I think there's no excuse there for 223. They shouldn't be losing a cash out like that. A Telco here taking free damage from long range against Salvo's FAMAS as well. Again, we've seen the FAMAS start to be utilized a bit more because that rifle is the longest range damage rifle in the game right now, again, against the AK or FAMAS. So, or FGAR. So I really think that a Telco was one of the issues here in this fight. Now this is time for these teams to lock in. You cannot make any mistakes right now. We're going to get a listen into 223 at the perfect time as well.
Et de ce côté là.
Du coup, je perds mon grappin.
Il y a toujours les trucs là,
Les
tire
matchs
vers
devant.
nous. Et tu vas mettre des barricades.
Et mettre le
et tout.
truc là.
Ah, je peux
Ok.
pas encore, j'ai plus. Vas-y, mais tu peux mettre des barricades ou autre. Je fais une démat derrière nous. Derrière.
Oh.
Bah, mort.
And that was a quick listen in from 223. You can really hear the chaos that's going off inside of it. Noah is trying to get some shots off. He's getting work with that model, but he is missing some really crucial shots. He's not getting the Scallywags down just as much as they needed. Scallywags down to their last member. It looks like they get the res, but they do get wiped. So 223 is going to have the advantage going into this final cash out. And honestly, I don't think it's looking good for the Scallywags.
Are you a believer, Rio, in 223?
I am a believer in 223. They were my pick, so I'm really rooting for them, and they just have to have really good defenses for this last push.
Yep, it all comes down to this. Who will qualify in towards the grand finals for the $2,000 pool here for Breakout Worlds 2024? And here it is, Salvo, Wallio, and Gremlin on the attack here. Players on defense for 223 under pressure. It's Gremlin driving in with the Winch Claw. He has managed to get the first damage down. He's only on 2 HP as well. It's no actually falls. Now a Telco under pressure from the high ground. It's Salvo using the FAMAS as well to his ability, and the steal happens. It looks like it might just be all done and dusted. It's a Telco versus the world, and it's Scallywags qualifying through into the finals.
Oh my god, what just happened? 223 had the perfect setup. They had defenses and everything that they needed, but they just let the Scallywags come through. I'm shocked, but that's how it plays out. There was nothing that they could do. They went for that perfect steal and nobody was around. What? I am speechless. And Scallywags ended up taking it. My god.